Hey, everyone watching in here at United Social Television, you know it's the big clash today. We have said it's the rekindle of the rivalry because these two sides, it's the very first time we are seeing these two sides really looking really great into all in good shape. See to it that they really give us the best of the game as things stand. So today I'm having my usual suspect in here. For those that usually really watching, you know him. He is called Kosi of the Arsenal podcast in there. He's the guy, as you know, we are heading into this big game of Manchester United against a team known as Arsenal. And guess what? He's here to really dissect matters as far as Arsenal because me here, I'm in for Manchester United as I'm clad into my jersey, as you see, and he's clad into his jersey too of Arsenal. So, guys, feel free to join us, and we will be welcome. Sometimes we will invite you through, and you tell us what you think. But today, the hot topic in here is all about Manchester United Top Guns versus Arsenal Top Guns. Is it really a clash that we expect? Has the managers, that is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Arteta, really elevated these teams to a level that we can think that they are going to come back and compete for the Premier League trophy as it were years back, as it were for Alex Ferguson and a manager known as Arsene Wenger? Are we back to the old days? So that's what this video is all about. We're also going to talk about we are also going to compare the Manchester United players, player per player, and especially like Aubameyang facing Aaron Wan-Bissaka, those competitions that we're going to see into this game. So, Kosi, welcome to United Social Television.
Thank you, Blood. Thank you, Blood. It really feels good to be here. So good, man.
Oh, that's good, really. So, yeah, now. Man. You know the encounter. We are from the Arsenal podcast. We've been doing really the combined 11, and we've only disagreed on two players, and that is David De Gea and Willian. You went for Sako, I went for Willian. So those, to bring you up to speed, for me, this is my combined 11 that I really came up with. I said I go with De Gea instead of Leno, and he said he goes with Leno. But we agreed with Aaron Wan-Bissaka as the right back, Tierney as the left back, Gabriel Magalhaes and Harry Maguire into the central defense, Thomas Partey, Danny Van Beek, and Bruno Fernandes into the midfield, and Marcus Rashford playing off the left wing, Aubameyang leading the line. He went with Sako to play off the left wing, but I went with Willian to play off that side. So that is my combined 11, and we really agreed on a couple of players, close to 9 players, but on 2 players we failed to disagree. So
maybe we didn't choose between the managers, but for me it's obvious it is Mikel Arteta.
Why Mikel Arteta?
Obviously, for me, I think I'm really happy with what he has done in the short time he has been at the club, despite the lack of funds and lack of tools for the job.
But for my case, I think the manager, I go with Ole. Do you know why?
Heck, yeah.
Ole comes at Manchester United, disorganized as it was. Players Pogba want to leave. He had a tough season, really. Getting into the season, losing Anton Martial to injury, Paul Pogba to injury, because you never brought in Bruno Fernandes, because Manchester United really never thought that Paul Pogba was going to get that long injury because he's not an injury-prone player. So all they thought he's going to have Paul Pogba into that midfield to doing that creative role for Manchester United. But he starts the season very well, wiping a team known as Chelsea 4-0. He draws against a team known as Wolves. That's when Anton Martial, Paul Pogba really go off and get injured, yet the transfer window was closed. So he really was in a lot of trouble. That's when he brought in a player known as Bruno Fernandes, and things turned around. So for my case, I like his tactics. I like the way he manages the players. You get? I think for me, I go with Ole because he has really proven to me that he's that manager that's going to do great for Manchester United. Because any good manager is rated into the times when people think he's going to be sacked, all things are not going to be good at him at the club. Now the fixtures that he went through after losing 6-1 against Tottenham Hotspur, people were saying he deserves a sack. I told them Ole is the manager for Manchester United. So we've so far played 4 games, won 3 and drawn 1. So I think for my case, I go with Ole because he never really had a depth in squad. Now this season, he's really on the big test, and I think he's going to pass this big test because he has the squad with him. So you go with Arteta, I go with Ole because
yeah, I know, but honestly, if we are to be honest, these two guys almost have similar parts. They get into because both of them lacked experience. Although Solskjaer was down in Norway and so on,
Molde,
he comes at Manchester United. It was so disorganized. Of course, when Mourinho has left the club, it's like a pigsty. So he comes into this pigsty, and you're like, I really don't know, but he does everything right. Mikel Arteta was under the same situation. The dressing room was negative. Everything, the moods, the attitudes of the players. Unai Emery had spoiled everything. They start from scratch. It's like they are starting from scratch. Solskjaer is trying to build his team from the bones that he found at the club. And Mikel Arteta is also trying to do them. And I think they have really done the jobs right. I don't know whether they are the right managers for the jobs, but I think they are doing well so far.
Kosi,
yeah,
there are things that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is doing that Mourinho failed to do.
Yeah,
Louis Van Gaal failed to do. You know what? You know the mess at Manchester United. The good thing is that Arteta is being backed by the football director in the names of Edu. But at Manchester United, the manager doesn't get the players that he wants. You get? Just imagine if at all United got Danny Van Beek, Alex Telles, and Jadon Sancho. This conversation would have been on a very far different level. You get?
Yeah, I know.
So the problem that Ole is having, all the managers after Ferguson have faced it, but Ole is handling it in a very good way. He is telling players that, guys, can you really show up to the occasion? He's a very good man manager. When you look at a player like Anton Martial, Marcus Rashford, the way he has really transformed them into the players that they are now, trust me, no one doubts the ability, all potential of Anton Martial, potential of Paul Pogba, potential of Marcus Rashford. But Mourinho had really sunk these players down. But with the coming of Ole, he has really done something great at Manchester United, and these players are really doing great. The same applies to Arteta at Arsenal. He's really trying to build up a team, and I think if at all these managers are given time, you see Manchester City is sloping down. You get?
Yeah.
The same applies to Liverpool. Remember last year we were talking about Liverpool, and we are also saying that can Liverpool really extend more 3 seasons like this? And we are saying Liverpool cannot. That's what you told me, and I was saying Liverpool could, but it's now that I'm saying that you're right, that Liverpool is really facing hard times. Even when they had Van Dijk on the pitch, Sadio Mane, they were struggling, and they had enough time to rest. When you look at Chelsea, I think they also need time. And this prediction, you were asking yourself that are they the right managers for the job? Trust me. To me, Lampard, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and Arteta are really going to bring the lost glories of those teams back. Trust me. Jurgen Klopp is going to get a hard time. You get? When you look at his squad, most players are really, really aging, and they are set to get injuries. Look at Manchester City, the man known as Pep Guardiola. It's now that we know he was in need of a player known as Lionel Messi because his team is done. It's like it's wearing out.
And I think him as a manager is also finished. There isn't anything new to his game. Last season, this season, they exactly look like the same. I think he might finish second just because of the quality of the side, being better than any club. But tactically, I think he's done. There isn't anything new he's going to pull over.
Should he go in the sabbatical he did when he left Barcelona and he rested for some years and then he went to Bayern Munich?
I mean, where is he going to go? Apart from, he has been at Bayern, he has been at Barcelona, he has been at Manchester City. Maybe, he's going to go to Juventus or something like that. But for me, I think he needs a club without pressure. And his pedigree cannot go to... You know, he cannot go to.
I think PSG can take over him.
Yeah, maybe they are going to give the give him the money and a new environment, but right now he's too predictable in the Premier League, and guys just know how to play against him. But if he goes to if he goes to France, I think PSG can play without a manager. So if he goes to France, he can revive his glory. But again, in the Champions League, I don't think he stands a chance.
All right, now let's get into what the reason as to why we are here. We are here because of Manchester United against a team known as Arsenal. Now, before I start this video, I see Kosi all smiles. I don't know how you're going to look if at all this game doesn't end in your favor. How are you going to look?
The biggest team in Europe, London, is red.
Aren't you ashamed of saying that Arsenal is the biggest team in Europe?
We are the biggest team in Europe. We are.
Are you playing the Champions League?
We are not, but we are we are in Europe somewhere. We are.
I think a big team in the Europe also be playing the Champions League because that's the biggest tournament into the European football arena.
Well,
we just are away.
Yeah, I know. We just had a setback, a hiccup, but we're coming back this season. We're coming back full and ready. We're coming back.
Kosi, there is something I want to show you here.
Yeah.
And I really want to see what you are talking about it. Let me bring it. Guys, thank you for watching it. Smash a like on this video. Comment and share, guys. This is Kosi from Arsenal Podcast. We are really doing the battle of the big guns today. Is it the rekindle of the rivalry? Is it the fire? Are the old times going to be unveiled today? Going to be really rekindled, all fired today? That's the big question. And here we go. So this is something, Kosi, I really want to first bring into before you go anywhere.
Yeah.
Those are the match facts. They say head to head. Manchester United are winless in the past 4 meetings. You get? That's the Premier League. You get?
Yeah.
And there is something I want us to talk about. It's the second one. However, they are unbeaten in 13 home league games against Arsenal since a 1 defeat in September 2006. I very much remember that game.
Aaron Ramsey.
Aaron Ramsey. It was Adebayo. It was Adebayo. A pass. It was Adebayo. It was a pass floated in by Cesc Fabregas. It was Adebayo. I remember. I even escaped from school to go and watch that game. I remember very well. Arsenal was putting on a real jersey. I remember that game very well.
You escaped from school to watch your team lose.
Yes, and I went back at school and I never really slept. I had a bad day.
Yeah.
Amongst all people, Adebayo really came in. Fabregas really floated that ball to him, and he got past Nemanja Vidic and Rio Ferdinand, and they really scored against that. So that's where we should start from. What does this statistic really mean to you as an Arsenal fan and supporter?
Obviously, it's a threat. It has been used all over the media. It has been used everywhere. That Arsenal have not beaten Manchester United at the Old Trafford ever since 2006. It's a big statistic. We have to respect it. You cannot overlook it. You cannot look down on it. It shows the kind of respect you must give Manchester United today. It shows the kind of respect we must give you, guys, this kind of, on this evening. But it also gives us an opportunity, a reason to fight. It also gives us a motivation that, it is so long that ever since we won against, Manchester United, 2006, it's almost 12 years, 13 years down the road. We just need to break this. We need to break this, deadlock. And I think for me as an Arsenal fan, I know it's hard to win at the Old Trafford, but it motivates me. I think it's going to be the first time we win at the Old Trafford ever since 2006. And I believe United fans are going to come with that mentality, and Mikel Arteta is also well aware of that. The teams are well aware of the statistic. I think it's a point of motivation. Let us come and break this. Let us come and change history. We need to change history. Last weekend, we lost to Leicester City for the first time in 40 years. Ever since, I think it was 1973, we had not lost to Leicester City at home. and then we lost against Leicester City. So for me, 13 years, that is breakable. It is breakable. United nil, Arsenal 1. We are, we are repeating history this time with another goal scorer. I think Aubameyang. I think we are, we are breaking history.
Now, for my case, I think this game is not in your favor. We all know that.
Yeah,
it's
it
not
isn't
in your favor because Manchester United on paper it looks a more better team than you guys. And I think if it's a good day, if it's really in the good books of the Lord that Manchester United is winning, Arsenal will be sat down a lot today, and they're going to have a horrible day. But if at all, a moment.
Yeah, it's okay.
This will all depend on what lineup all is going to bring. Now, there is this lineup, and if at all you see it on the pitch, I want to show it to you, Osi. There is this lineup. If at all you see it on the pitch, count yourself done and dusted into this game. But if it does not come like this way, anything can happen. So there is this lineup. If at all, Ole comes in with this lineup, I think it will really neutralize the players of Arsenal. There we go. This is my probable lineup of Arsenal, and it's a diamond, really, that if at all already launches it against a team known as Arsenal, and according to the quality he's going to be having on the bench, I think you guys are going to be done. Do you think there is a specific lineup that you think if Ole brings it, Arsenal cannot really get any point at Old Trafford? Do you have it?
Yeah, there is one I have.
It goes.
I think. Yeah, of course, the goalkeeper doesn't matter. Even if it's David De Gea, but if he plays Van Bissaka, he plays Tuazebe and either Harry Maguire. If he plays Tuazebe in the centre back, it's going to give us a lot of problems. That guy is extremely brilliant. I think the centre-back partnership, if he changes his centre-back partnership, he uses Tuazebe, he's going to limit us going forward, because that means there will not be any more spaces to exploit. In the midfield, if he uses Donny van der Beek instead of Paul Pogba, then he brings Fred and Bruno Fernandes. I think I'll be afraid then. But if he decides to use, to leave Van der Beek on the bench, like he has always done, then he brings in his Pogbas and so on. Then, but for me, I think Van der Beek, Fred, Bruno Fernandes, Rashford, Greenwood, and anyone of his choice. I think that could be the lineup that could give us a run for our money. Yeah,
I think Danny Van Beek really gives us a more plan B in such a game when he's coming off the bench than Paul Pogba. So it's better I start Paul Pogba into this game, then I get him off according to how he's playing, then I really launch a new man known as Danny Van Beek. So that's my diamond as you see it there. If at all you see that team come as it is, I think we are going to win against Arsenal. For my case, what do you think about that diamond system as it's being set as you see it there? With Marcus Rashford, Mason Greenwood leading the line.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good because whenever, when you lose the ball, you almost have already you have 4 players behind the ball. If, in attack, you almost have 6 players in attack. That is how dangerous it is. And what I can see, it can shift from to either side. It can shift to the left. It can also shift to the right. That means it's not easy for you to be exploited. That is defensive wise through the flanks. But my problem, my only problem with the diamond is how many players when you lose the ball and you have 4 players, 5 players behind the ball, and you also have your center back. Yes, you're very well, but if you have 7 players attacking in attack, 6, 7 players in attack, and it is on the break, how many and how fast can your players drop back? That is it. Yes, you have numbers going forward, but how fast can your players drop back? Fred can drop back easily. McTominay can drop back easily when you lose the ball on the break, but the rest of the other players are really, insignificant if it's a break. And it really works when the other team is also in possession, trying to pass around and break and break you down. It works, it works very well. But on the break, it will depend on how fast those players in the midfield can fast track back. And I think McTominay and Fred are the only players that can actually track back very fast. Then
Even
it means
Bruno.
Even Bruno, but
Pogba, get Pogba out of this because he's not that player. Trust me, Paul Pogba is into this encounter because of his name, not because of what he's doing on the football pitch, because of his name. And Adidas really needs him to start. There are those picky issues. And according to a plan B that Danny Van Beek gives us, Paul Pogba coming on to the second half really, I don't see him as someone can change the game. But I think when Danny Van Beek is on the bench and really is watching, then when he comes on, I think it's better to bring him on with Juan Mata, and Juan Mata plays with Bruno Fernandes, Danny Van Beek, and those three players. If at all they're on the pitch, they are playing for only 20 or 15 minutes. I think they can cause a very big problem to Arsenal because for them, they don't run with the ball. Their minds and the foot make the ball run. So they will they will put in those through passes to the likes of Marcus Rashford or Mason Greenwood or Edson Cavani. So now let's shift into this. Okay,
I saw. Go to the next point. I saw him start Donny van de Beek against Leipzig. He brought him off and then I think introduced Bruno Fernandes, and it worked so well. It looked so good. Yeah, it looked so good. So, but I don't think he can. I don't think he can risk starting Fernandes on the bench today.
Fernandes is going to be a starter. Fernandes, Scott McTominay, because he was benched against the team known as RB Leipzig, so he just came in after Matic got a yellow card, and he was really on the verge of getting a red card. So I think Scott McTominay is starting. Freddie, Bruno Fernandes, I think those are starting. So now, Kosi, let's get into this. First, tell me your probable lineup that you think. Before we go into our top guns, we are going to look about the top gun of Manchester United in defense, plus the top gun of Arsenal in defense. We go in the midfield, then we go to the striking line, and we'll be really comparing them as far as this video is concerned. So, Kosi, let's get into, tell me your probable lineup of Arsenal against Manchester United. What is your probable lineup? How should it be? The team that you think
probable lineup, really
Arteta brings it, you guys are going to smash us.
Okay, I think obviously United deserves respect. They look good, so he should go for his usual 3-4-3 because he's comfortable and he loves it, and all the times he has changed it, he looked he has struggled. So Leno in goal, the three defenders. If Luiz passes the late fitness test, we should use David Luiz, Gabriel Magalhaes, and Kian Tierney. Back three. If Luiz doesn't pass a late fitness test, let him use Saliba. It will be a gamble, but let him use Danny Saliba. Let him use Saliba. In the midfield, 4 players: Bukayo Saka, Ainsley Maitland-Niles instead of Heki Bellerin. Ainsley, Bukayo Saka, Thomas Partey, and Granit Xhaka. Of course, everybody's going to say, because there is no creativity in that. Yes, I understand there is no creativity, but this is the reason as to why I'm not having creativity. I'm having Aubameyang to the left, the right. I'm having Pepe, and Willian is my my false 9, which formation I think gives Aubameyang all the liberty to cross over and play as the 9, Willian to drift to the wings, and then Aubameyang going back to the wing, and then and Pepe, inter switching positions. Because against Dundalk, I saw him playing with Reece Nelson, and one of the reasons as to why he was so brilliant, he was able to switch wings and play all the time. He went to the left, he started with on the right, and then with Cedric. Then he switched. He went to the left. He came back to the right. He played in the middle where he scored his goal. I think we should play, because literally there is no reason for us, to play, a number 9 in this game. There is no reason. So we should play Willian as a false 9. Create, to create a big space for Aubameyang to run. Create spaces for Pepe to run, and then Willian is there to distract and gather numbers, gather Manchester United numbers, gather attention. Aubameyang, Pepe get their chances. I think we play that 3-4-3. Those kind of players, that lineup, United might not survive. Whether they bring a diamond or they bring if you bring a Caesar or you bring a rectangle or a star or a moon, I don't think you guys are gonna survive.
All right, now let's go into the big guns. Now, Leno versus De Gea. You think, how do you see Leno and De Gea into this encounter? Who do you think is going to really hold up his team high to see to it that they get a win?
For me, I think, both goalkeepers are good shot stoppers. Very good shot stoppers. It is undoubtable. You can't doubt the quality of David De Gea. And Leno has already proven to us, as Arsenal fans, last season, he was among the best three players. Actually, he was second, among the best performers at the club. Even this season, although he has, created a couple of, problems, havoc here and there at times, but I still believe he's good. He has, he always stands up, to the occasion. I think United are going to attack more. They are going to have more chances. Like 11 shots on goal or 15 shots on goal, and then
15 shots on target or on goal.
15 shots on goal. You're going to have 6 on target.
Oh, okay. I thought 15 shots on target.
No,
what was it was going to be today? If at all you get
6 on target. Of course, I'm including the set pieces.
All right.
Yeah. I think Leno should be able to deal with 4 of those successfully. The defense should deal with one, and then maybe you can score one. Maybe you can score one. I think you guys will score one, just one, if you're lucky. David De Gea, for me, I think it's going to be all about counter-attacking for us. No, sit back, get Manchester United on the break because they have numbers and they have the quality in the midfield. Get Manchester United on the break. David De Gea has to be spot on, not only stopping the shots, but telling his defense how to move, what they should do. The movements, commanding the movements, giving the instructions. Talking to his defenders. How far do you go? And when you go, how fast do you come back? That is the role of David De Gea. But for me, I think in this game, it's going to be Leno's show. It's going to be Ban Leno's show. And obviously, at this time, in point in time, I think he's the better of the 2 goalkeepers.
All right.
Yeah.
For my case, I think De Gea is really going to be. He's going to live up to the occasion because this season he has not disappointed us. He has acted like the David De Gea winner. He has made a pretty couple of saves. And I don't agree with people who say that Dean Anderson should start ahead of him, as Kosi, an Arsenal fan, thinking that Dean Anderson should be given a chance over David De Gea. But for me,
but Dean Anderson had a very good season against for Sheffield last season on loan. Actually, they wanted to take him back, but you guys refused.
A very good season at Sheffield differs from a very good season at Manchester United. Man, there is a goalkeeper I can remind about. It's called Ben Foster. Ben Foster. Ferguson said, "I'm not going to buy a goalkeeper." After a goalkeeper known as Edwin
van
der Sar left, and he said, "I'm going to give this season to a goalkeeper known as Ben Foster." Ben Foster was a very good goalkeeper. He was good on the ball. He was a very good shot stopper, but he couldn't handle the pressure at Manchester United. And remember, the backup goalkeeper we had was not at the level of David De Gea. So I'm only imagining whether a player known as Dean Henderson can really handle the pressure when a world-class top goalkeeper is on the bench. You get? I don't underrate him. He's a very good goalkeeper, by the way. And according to how Manchester United has played in the Champions League, he might get close to 2 games. He might be in goal against our last 2 games against Leipzig and PSG, because United is having 2 games against Istanbul back to back, and if at all United wins those 2 games,
it's an automatic qualification.
I'm reminding you on this live that you said if at all Manchester United goes through that Champions League group, you are giving me $30.
Yeah.
And I think it's high time you give them those $30 because you're already through. Play to
Not
them.
really, not really. By the not really.
When
You
should I
know,
expect-
you might get shocked against Istanbul. You might get
No
shocked
shock.
against Istanbul.
No shock. A team that has not scored a single goal into the 2 games they've played, they've not scored a single goal. They have 0 points. Don't expect us to go in Istanbul and really lose against them. We are going to get 3 points. And just prepare my money. And I think
I know.
Wednesday or Thursday, or by the end of this month, you would have to send my money on my phone.
It's true. You know,
that's a buy there because
I didn't expect it to be a walkover like that. I didn't.
For me, I expected it because Ole really is a manager that has players that really are playing for him. Like Arteta, he has players. That's why Arteta put Ozil away, because Mesut Ozil is not a player that's going to play for the manager. He's a player who plays what he wants. When he's in the good mood, he'll play. When he's not in the... So now these players are playing for Ole, and they really go on missions. It's like they are going for war. Against PSG, it was war. And they had very good memories that we won here last time we are here. They had won 3-1, and they kicked them out of the Champions League. So now we are talking about David De Gea. For me, I think he's really a good goalkeeper, and I think he's that big gun that is really going to stop Arsenal from even getting a single point at Old Trafford today. I think he's really going to show his class today, as he has always done. Do you remember that save he did in that game when we won 3-1 against you guys at your field, when Mourinho was still our coach? And De Gea did that wonder save when he stopped a man known as Lacazette and Alex Sanchez in 3 shots in a single minute with a keeper to beat, and De Gea made 3 saves, stopped 3 shots from 2 Arsenal players in a single minute. You remember that save he did?
Yeah, I still do. But for me, I still blame the quality of Lacazette until now. And my fans on the Arsenal podcast know I blame Lacazette for the lack of, the lack of sharpness, he displays on the pitch. But I think I think he's really decent. I think the guy is really decent. He has, they are balls he has saved, and I'm like, wow, he did that.
Now let's go to the big gun. Who's your big gun in defense? Who's your big gun? You feel he's the big man in defense, that this is the man that is going to stop Manchester United from really coming up and scoring us. Who's your big gun? The commander-in-chief of your defense.
Right now, the best defender in the league, Gabriel Magalhaes, the best defender in the league right now.
All right, I agree with Gabriel Magalhaes, but we have our captain, Harry Maguire. Provided he's given a best partner, my dear, he will be good. But the problem is, they're going to play him alongside Victor Lindelof, because it's an open book. You can read it, that Manchester United is going to have Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof into their central defense. That's why when I did my predicted lineup, I really put up him, because I know Tuanzebe deserves all the credit to play for Manchester United alongside Harry Maguire. But Ole really has not really thought of that and has not believed into this. I've seen a lineup where these 3 are going to play together, that United can bring a 3-5-2 with Harry Maguire, Tuanzebe, and Lindelof playing the back 3, and then Luke Shaw and Aaron Wan-Bissaka playing the other flanks. But if Ole really comes up with that lineup, I will be very disappointed in him, because Arsenal is not all that a team that we are going really to fear about. We can attack Arsenal. Arsenal can attack us. We can attack it. And if at all on a very good day, we have more creativity than Arsenal, that means we can create more chances than them. So if at all Ole really brings in that 3-5-2, I'll be disappointed in him. But back to the point of our partner in defense, I think you have a very big man who can command the defense. I think Gabriel, and it's really bad that you guys took Gabriel from us, because we were also interested in him. And
but
land him at Manchester United.
I don't think Manchester United were really serious about his centre back. You guys were not really serious, because Gabriel was yours. It was either you or Napoli at first, and you guys showed like you are not much interested. You talked to his representatives, but you failed to talk to Lille because you had convinced him first. Arsenal talked to him. The guy accepted. We talked to Lille. Of course, Lille had, we have a very good sell buyer relationship with Lille Metropo ever since we bought Javino, then Pepe, and so on. I think you never wanted a centre back. That's the truth, you guys. Manchester United was never to sign a centre back last summer.
We were to sign, but the board let down Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But leave alone that. Now I think Gabriel Magalhaes is a defender that Manchester United doesn't have, that Arsenal doesn't, that Manchester United doesn't have. I think he's really of good quality. Yeah. He has the energy. He's very good on the ball. His left foot is sweet. And he really scored in a goal, I think, on his debut for Arsenal into the Premier League against Fulham. I saw him score that header, but it was all about the loose marking of Fulham. It was not all about the brilliance
it wasn't brilliance. It wasn't brilliance. It was Fulham's defense, going asleep, and then the punishment.
Now we go to the midfield. Thomas Partey versus Thomas Partey. I think it's going to be. I think your gun in the midfield is Thomas Partey, isn't it?
Yeah, it must be Thomas Partey, definitely.
And ours is Bruno Fernandes. And who do you think is going really to command a lot into winning this game?
This is tricky. When you look at the role of Thomas Partey at Arsenal, it's quite bigger than the role of Bruno Fernandes at Manchester United. Fernandes, of course, when you have the ball, when he has the ball, he's the man. He can play that box to box very well. He can play that, behind the striker very well. He's going to cause a lot of problems for us because, he always switches to, throughout the midfield, to the left, to the right, to the center. So that means he's going to attack. By the end of the game, he will have attacked every defender at Arsenal. Through the right, through the left, through the middle. And I think he's going to expose Mustafi. If Mustafi starts today, he's really going to expose him so much. But for me, the role of Bruno Fernandes will depend on how Rashford and Mason Greenwood, what kind of games do they get? If Rashford gets a good game, Greenwood gets a good game, Bruno Fernandes is going to be absolutely brilliant because for him he cannot fail to release them. He cannot fail to create chances. That is just impossible. And I think Mikel Arteta knows this. If you want to erase Bruno Fernandes from the game, you don't get hold of him, but you get hold of the players that he's playing with, and I think you guys know that. Thomas Partey on the other side, I think when we don't have the ball, that is when we run to him most because he has the energy, he has the physicality to fight for the ball, win it back. He has the techniques to fight for the ball and win it back. He has the ability to command the midfield and win over the midfield, especially when he's playing with a player like Granit Xhaka. They have so many things in similar, apart from the pace and the quality. I think Partey is slightly better than.
I think Partey.
Yeah,
Partey is really a person who is going to do the defensive role, and he will add onto the attack of Arsenal. One thing Bruno is better than, because even Bruno does that. Does that. He's like, he runs all over the field. But one thing Bruno is better of. We can argue that Thomas Partey defensively and his work rate is better than that of Bruno. But there is that eye that Bruno has for the ball, releasing a player in. It's very hard for Partey to release a defender, or to release an Arsenal player. But he can only do these runs that can take off other midfields, and he reduces the number of Manchester United players that can prevent the Aubameyang from really scoring.
And that is another disadvantage. Bruno Fernandes has, that if he doesn't have a good structure behind him, he's not going to play good football. Because for him, he loves having the ball, but when you lose the ball, he gets desperate. He's less effective. Now that's the difference with with Partey, because for Partey, we know at least Manchester United are going to dominate for the game today. They are going to have full dominance and so on. Partey is going to be very key. Partey is going to be very important, in this game, because sit back, look at them, read the game. What are they trying to do? See, he might not release anybody, but Granit Xhaka is there to do that. He might not release anybody, but Dani Ceballos could be there to do that for him. And I think his role is going to be, bigger than that of Bruno Fernandes. If you guys really have, play all the time. For me, it's not hard to cut off Bruno Fernandes, cut off Rashford, cut off Mason Greenwood. He's, he's done. Apart from
shooting,
of course, he's very good at shooting from afar. But for Thomas Partey, it's very hard to close him out of a game. When when the team loses possession, there is no way you're going to close him out. When we get the ball, the box to box, the runs, the pace, it's really hard to close out Thomas Partey. For me, I think Partey is going to have a big role to play in this game than Bruno. Actually, the Manchester United, the Manchester United player, I think, could be on fire. Could be more entertaining to watch. Could be Fred. I think Fred would be more entertaining.
I think Bruno is going to run you guys mad.
I don't know.
Because
I don't know, but yeah.
You know why you cannot rule out Bruno in any single game, even when he plays badly, he delivers.
Yeah,
trust me. In all these games,
he will get a penalty.
Bruno is not yet back to where he's supposed to be, trust me. You get? But each and every game, he's impactful.
Yeah.
He's impactful. Getting a penalty, it's really hard this time around because the person that has really got us penalties is Anton Martial, and Anton Martial is not really into this game because he's the most comfortable forward that we have. Even if you see Edson Cavani is not good at taking off defenders as you see Anton Martial, but Cavani is good on putting the ball into the back of the net. Get him the chance, we'll bag it inside. He does not need very many chances to score. So, but if I only had Anton Martial would really cause a lot of trouble to the defense of Arsenal because the way he gets inside, he cuts inside from outside the wings is really, really dangerous and deadly. Now, we go to the forwards. It should be Aubameyang and Marcus Rashford.
Aubameyang, Marcus Rashford. Yeah, obviously it should, but for me, I think for Arsenal, it might not be Aubameyang this time. Yeah, he's on paper, he's the name, but for me, I think we might be surprised if a player like Bukayo Saka comes on, comes on the pitch and delivers, some kind of football that we don't expect. But if we are going to go with Rashford and Aubameyang, Rashford is on form. Rashford, I don't know whether he's on form, but he looked good against Leipzig. That's what I should say. Because against Chelsea, their goals he should have scored, right?
Yes, he missed out.
Yeah,
he missed out on a sitter.
Yeah, he missed out on a sitter. And to prove to us that you're quality, to prove to us that, you're there as Marcus Rashford, there are decisions, there are things you have to do. Score that goal against Chelsea and send a message to everybody that guys, I'm moving to this class of player. I get this chance.
Big thing,
the next
one
big
thing.
Yeah.
Now that's what I tell people, that the difference between Anton Martial and Marcus Rashford is one, that whenever the team needs Anton Martial most, he delivers.
He delivers, exactly. Yeah, and that's true.
Whenever the team needs Marcus Rashford a lot, he's sometimes slips down. You get? So in a game against Chelsea, he had all the chance to announce himself because he had acres of space. One Mata released him. He had the acres of space. He could take his time, but he was into a hurry and he really went for a low bottom corner instead of chipping Mendy. He made Mendy really look good on that day. You get? So,
it's true. It's true.
So for my case, I think this is the game that, with the absence here of Anton Martial, because if Anton Martial was into this game, the big load would have been halved, all shared by him and Marcus Rashford. By this time round, even though Bruno is into this game, according to what Marcus has done into this season, scoring 7 goals and 2 assists in 9 games this season, each and every person is eyeing him. Having scored a hat-trick against RB Leipzig into the Champions League, everyone is looking at him. Now, this is the game that Marcus has to show to us that he's really that player that Manchester United has, and he makes the communication that I'm competing with Kylian Mbappe. And the same applies to Aubameyang, your player. Being paid that big sum of money weekly. This is the game he's supposed to come up and raise up the question and tell people that I'm announcing myself that I was bought from Borussia Dortmund to come to Arsenal to really see to it that I make a statement on such big games. So I think they are the men to watch into this game. Man to watch at Manchester United is not Bruno, it's not Danny Van Beek, it's not Paul Pogba, it's Marcus Rashford. And man to watch in Arsenal is none other than Aubameyang. I don't know whether you agree with me on that.
And for me, I think, Rokan, if Arsenal is going to get a point in this game, if you're going to win this game or get a point, Aubameyang has to be, exceptional, because the creativity that we are crying for is not going to come out of the blue. It's not going to come, in this game, because we have not introduced that kind of player. That's as simple as that. We just need to work with the tools we have. I think if we are going to get a point in this game, Aubameyang has to be there for us. We are different from Manchester United. I mean, Greenwood, against Leipzig, if Manchester United had only scored the Greenwood goal, it would have been 3 points. You understand? But they have Greenwood, they have Bruno, they have so many. You guys have so many players that can, turn a game, which we do not have. I think Aubameyang needs to be at his best. I think, they are the two players to watch. It is true. I think Aubameyang might score one.
I do have it. I do feel it. I do. For my case, I went for a 3-1 win of Manchester United over Arsenal, and
that is outrageous, man.
I think Aubameyang and that one goal, Aubameyang or Lacazette, one of those two, because when you look at our central defenders, Lacazette is going to cause a very big problem to them, because Lacazette has the energy, he has the pace, he has that powerful shot, he can even head the ball. So I think in the aerial section, Arsenal cannot overtake us, because we have a player known as Harry Maguire who is good in the air. But can Victor Lindelof or Harry Maguire stop Lacazette, if at all? One thing I like about Lacazette, he's this striker who can make 4 touches, 4 small touches into the box. It's rare to be seen nowadays. You get, and it's very hard. If at all you get that ball off him, that's a penalty. There are those turns that he makes. So he's really a very tricky striker. And although he's not clinical, but on such big games, he rises up to the occasion. He has scored against these big teams. I remember scoring against us. He has scored against Chelsea. I think he has scored against Liverpool. He has scored in these big games. Lacazette is really some different player. He turns to be one of those best world-class top scorers on big games. So I think Arsenal and Lacazette and Aubameyang.
I think your defense cannot handle the quality we have up front. However much these guys are not yet lit up, they are not yet on fire, they are not yet there. But you guys just can't handle the quality. You just can't. Lindelof, Maguire, whatever, they are good, but just can't handle the quality.
It will depend on how the midfield is going to play. If at all Freddie and Scott McTominay are into this and they will chase you over, trust me, Arsenal want to get that through pass from the midfield. How Arsenal is going to play? Arsenal is going to play according through its wings. That is either Aubameyang or Willian or Bukayo Saka. You get? I think that's how Arsenal. Ceballos is good, but I don't see Ceballos as a fast-thinking player like Bruno. And I think he can be stopped. Although he has that pass, he can really release. He can release, but the problem is he's not that fast. He does not react fast or quickly. He really takes time to think, to do certain things, you get? But if at all he was fast, he would have been, by the way, one of the best midfielders, by the attacking midfielders, central midfielders in the Premier League, because his possession is key. He's good on the ball. He does the long ones. He shoots. I like the way he plays, but the problem is one. He is not a fast thinker. That's the problem. That's the problem I have with the problem I have with Paul Pogba too. Paul Pogba makes a lot of touches into the midfield where they are unnecessary.
Ceballos is not a fast thinker, and he's slow. He's slow, physically slow. You need to think fast. You need to be, you need to either think fast or be fast physically. And he cannot protect the ball, like you would want him to. Yes, he has those guards on, but he doesn't protect the ball so much. I think, like many Arsenal fans think, if Joe Willock can get a chance ahead of Ceballos, I'll give him a chance against you guys.
Now, a big question in here coming in, and it's going to be, we are having 10 minutes left to end this video. Now, the big question in here comes in. We are going to the real battles on the field, because we know, I think Aubameyang is going to play off the left wing. Don't you think so?
Yeah, it's true.
And that means he's going to face Aaron Wan-Bissaka. So who do you think is going to win that battle? Aaron Wan-Bissaka versus Aubameyang.
With the current form, if we are going with current form, not anything else.
Not current form.
Ability.
Let's rate these players on their ability to the fullest. Aaron Wan-Bissaka on his ability, full abilities all launched, and full abilities of Aubameyang really launched.
Prime Aubameyang, prime Aaron Wan-Bissaka. That's a tricky one. That's a very hard one.
Me too, I find it very hard to decide because both are good on what they do. Aubameyang is good on taking off players, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka is good on stopping players.
Yeah, Aubameyang is a very fast player, and I like how quick Aaron Wan-Bissaka is at reaction. You get that ball, he knows what to do. He does the simple thing, and it is always right. But I think on a couple of occasions, we could see Aubameyang winning over Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and then on a couple of occasions, we could see Aaron Wan-Bissaka toiling over Aubameyang. But I don't expect it all night, one of them to win, the battle. Like Aubameyang, makes makes Aaron Wan-Bissaka trash, or all evening. I don't expect it. Apart from if Willian plays against Aaron Wan-Bissaka, we could see, in such a scenario, I would see Aaron Wan-Bissaka, clearing out Willian, or Willian, clearing out Aaron Wan-Bissaka. But for Aubameyang, I look at it as a 50-50. Aubameyang can get in some crosses, get into the box actually, and have some shots away to David De Gea. I think it's a 50-50.
All right. Now we go to another battle. Another battle is who is going to play your right wing?
Right wing,
the right winger of Arsenal. You want
Willian.
Saka?
Willian. It's going to be Willian. Arteta loves Willian so much.
Kosi?
Willian. I think it's going to be Willian. You there?
Kosi?
Yeah, I'm here.
Kosi?
Yes, please.
Problem with internet, but you are back.
Yeah.
I was asking who is going to play your right wing?
Right wing. I said it is I said it is Willian. Mikel Arteta is really in love with Willian so much. I think the only reason as to why he didn't play against Leicester City, it was because of the injury. I think he's going to play Willian.
So that's the battle between Willian and Luke Shaw. How do you see that battle, Willian and Luke Shaw? Because the last time we played against Arsenal, Pepe came in and sat down Luke Shaw. I was very annoyed because how can you defend people like Messi? Defend people like Mohamed Salah, the quality of Riyad Mahrez, the quality of the Adama Traorés. You sit them down and put them in your pocket, and you fail to pocket a player known as Pepe. I was very annoyed. I was pissed that day. Pepe the left back of Manchester United. So, do you think Willian will do the same today?
I think Willian is the style of play of Willian, the pace and the edge is quite different from Pepe, and I think it gives an advantage to Luke Shaw. However, honestly, if I think about it, I think that is a battle that Willian should win, or anyone who gets on that right side should win. If either Pepe or Willian. But like I said, I think Michelet is going to go with Willian. For me, I think Willian is going to be playing as an inverted winger, trying to cut inside, to bring in minuses and try to lay off balls for Aubameyang or any striker. And I think that is
I think he'll leave. I think for me, I think he's going to leave the line for the right back of Arsenal. That is Hector Bellerin, because
exactly,
looks good when he's playing that line. So I think he's going to be cutting a lot into the midfield. That's what I think.
And that's the problem. If you're playing
a player like most of the times from.
If you're playing a player like Willian, who he's very good on both of his feet, that means he's going to get Luke Shaw on the weaker feet, which is the right.
Those two. A moment.
Yeah.
I have one of my people watching here daily. Is in Jamaica. He's known as Madroy. I'm saying hi, Madroy. He stays in Jamaica. It's 5:35 a.m. now, and he's watching in. Thank you, Madroy. Thank you. He's really my Jamaican fan who is in from Jamaica here at United Television. So today, Madroy, I'm hosting my fellow comrade known as Kosi of Arsenal Podcast. He runs a YouTube channel called Arsenal Podcast. You can
Yeah, yes, guys. That is it. You've been doing that kind of show that always excites you to do the Manchester United versus Arsenal. I expect it to be a nice game. I expect it to be, by the way, I expect it to be a rough game. I shouldn't say nice game. It's gonna be a rough game. But there isn't any quality in in these teams that really threatens. It sounds, if you watched it in 2004, 2005, 2003, 2002, people who watched this game 20, 25 years ago, they tell us that it is a game that was, one game that was really beautiful to watch. So I hope we get a good show. I hope we get a good show before we smash United.
All right, internet has been a problem, and thank God you've been here. But now the last battle I want us to talk about is all about Bruno Fernandes. Can Partey stop Bruno Fernandes? Because I think it's going to be Thomas Partey's role to stop a player known as Bruno Fernandes. Do you think it's a counter?
Yeah, I think unless United is playing on a counter, on counter-attacking football, Partey, there is no way Partey is going to stop Bruno Fernandes. But if it is United having possession and Partey has to, move around and track the ball, track you guys play, I think it's gonna be as easy as eating chicken to stop Bruno Fernandes, because he's going to have the help of Granit Xhaka, and he has stopped Messi, for Christ's sake. He has stopped Iniesta. He has stopped one of the best, some of the best attackers in Europe. He has been against some of the best attackers in Europe. So I think yeah, he can't stop. He can't stop Bruno Fernandes, but it's gonna be a tiresome day, and he will narrate it for the rest of his life.
All right, Kosi is really internet is really internet. Internet. Guys, we are into here on United States Television with Kosi from the Arsenal podcast. And, this is really something really, most of the times we do our live streams in here, Kosi, but internet is not a problem. By this time around, I'm worried that internet is really taking gas on a very bad speed. So you were talking about Thomas Partey and Bruno Fernandes.
So I think Bruno Fernandes, for me, reminds me of Eden Hazard, the role Eden Hazard used to play at Chelsea. I think that is that quality, exceptional player, a player who can lift a club by his own, on his own, a player whose quality lifts the quality of other players, makes them look so good. However, average they are. I think for me, him as a person lifted Manchester United, and many Manchester United fans know that the only lacking thing in Manchester United was a player who could actually lift the club. He lifted Pogba, he lifted all those players around him. And whenever he's like a shining stone that lights up all other Manchester United stars. For me, him against Partey is going to be very hard. Partey is quality, especially Partey has the physicality. If Partey uses his physique, the energy, and so on, it might be very hard for Bruno. But I think Bruno might win it. Bruno might win that that challenge, because the good thing with Bruno is when the team is in possession, he can still work effectively as the same the same way if the team is if the team is playing counter-attacking football. I think he might win it now against Partey.
Now we go to this battle. I think Manchester United. I think Marcus Rashford is going to face Hector Bellerin and your central defense, because where they're going to play him, he will face those players most, because he doesn't play off from the right wing very well, and I think we'll be playing off from left wing. So what's the battle between Rashford versus Hector Bellerin and either Shkodran Mustafi or a player known as Gabriel Magalhaes? How do you see that battle?
If he plays on the right wing, he's going to play against Hector Bellerin. He's going to be playing against Kian Tierney and Gabriel Magalhaes. He doesn't stand a chance. If he plays against Hector Bellerin and Shkodran Mustafi, then he's going to have a laugh. He's just going to have a laugh. There is no challenge. There is no battle there. He's just going to have a laugh. I think he can even score a brace in the first 20 minutes in the game. But if you make a mistake, play him forward centrally, or you play him on the right, then he's really going to struggle. And of course, how do you make Marcus Rashford struggle? Don't let him run. Don't let him have that ball for 30 seconds. I mean, what is he doing with the ball for 30 seconds? Don't let him do that. Close out spaces. He doesn't work. He doesn't work in small spaces. I was really surprised with the goal he scored against RB Leipzig. The fifth goal, his third goal. It was brilliant. I'd never seen him use less time, less space, in a fix, and then he scores a goal. It was so brilliant. I don't know whether he did that by chance or he has started doing it over training. But for me, I know he doesn't work. It's not like Anthony Martial. Martial works in such a space. He works in it. He gets results from such a small space. That is not Marcus Rashford. He needs a vast space, and Of course, he has players to release him. That's what we need to work upon. But if he plays against Bellerin and Mustafi, he's having a laugh. It's a hat trick.